And good evening, everybody. Allow me to officially welcome you to episode 166 of New York Red Bull Discussion Group, the podcast. Gary Redmond here at your service. Well, what are we going to be talking about this evening? Well, one game down, 33 to go, right? So, and the first game was a win. New York Red Bulls knocking off Orlando City SC. We're going to talk all about it, the highs, the lows. Game is not that much GOAT to go to if you want to actually talk about who was the player, a match day. And of course, throughout no one prize, and we're going to talk about that in length. After the break, there's a home opener taking place Saturday afternoon. Now, I know we're currently in the metropolitan New York area. We are digging out, of course, of the blizzard. Thanks very much. Which means hopefully that they would, whatever blizzard happens after that, hope they will hold that off. But we're going to talk about that in the game versus our old enemy, which is, of course, one of our old enemies. But was a friendly enemy? Because there's not that much rancor or hatred if we took on DC United or, of course, NYCFC. We're talking about New England Revolution. And, of course, how that's going to go on and give you the preview of what's been happening with the Revolution since the last time we faced them. Last time we faced them, had everybody livid over what took place over in Foxborough. Have a hard time in Foxborough, but at home, we do very nicely, and you'll see very much why. Now, our live broadcast is going right now, which is exclusively for all of our members of the discussion group. If you want to catch us live, all you got to do is join us. Answer 3 short questions and you're in. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until Wednesday for the next episode. You can catch the recording there in our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Spotify.com if you happen to miss this show. All of our episodes will be uploaded on Wednesday morning at midnight. And of course, we always say this all the time. Guys, this is your show, and by all means, okay, if you have any questions, comments about our guests and the topics and everything else, we have a email address. Feel free to shoot us a short little note. RBDG the podcast at gmail.com. That's RBDG the podcast, one word, at gmail.com. So we had a terrific weekend sports-wise, right? Red Bulls won. Team USA in hockey took on the village of the Maple Leaf and knocked them out, knocked them to the silver medal. We get the gold, and more importantly, that not only we won the game, but we won the weekend. And why is that very significant? Because we won. We got 3 points. New York City FC got 1 point. They got tied up in knots over in Carson, California. And of course, as we say, whenever that happens, and this is hopefully it is first of many, please blow that home. And there we have it. So with that said, allow us to begin the show. And of course, my co-host and of course my good friend over here, Miguel Nunez, resplendent in his Red Bull gear, and of course, congratulations on the North London Derby, my man. That was a key game.
Right,
I bet you a lot of you Gunner fans were holding your collective breaths because you're taking on a team, right? We're talking about Tottenham. They got nothing else to do, right? They got nothing to play for, to be
No. They have to play for survival in the Premier League.
What, they're in a drop zone?
Yeah, no. They have 29 points.
Uh-huh.
West Ham, which is the last team in relegation trouble, has 25 points. Yeah. Let me just say this. I don't want Tottenham to get relegated. I know that it would be funny, except that
funny would be embarrassing for them. But go ahead.
But it would cost us an automatic 6 points every season. Okay. Plus, there's something about the North London Derby thing, home and away. Okay.
Well, the North London Derby is a thing, but of course, naturally, that's not what I want to talk to you about. I'm looking at your celebratory photo right here.
Oh yeah,
now,
yeah.
I mean, if that's not joy I mean, you're mimicking. I mean, you're mimicking Gorkarez. I mean,
Yeah,
well
Gorkarez
done,
had
brother.
just scored. Yeah,
so. yeah. Well done, brother. Well,
thank you.
well done. I mean, I had to show
that
this
was
man
a
this.
good one.
I had to
That
show
was
this
a
man
good
this one. So let's talk. Let's, as they say, let's get down to business. As they say, okay. But when when I gave you the assignment, to take a look at the at the game again, and you saw the lineup, was you scratching your head just Gary, like everybody else?
Gary, I couldn't believe it, man.
Okay,
but I mean, I had like ye of little faith. Okay. Because
I mean, the fans were pessimistic. I mean,
Gary, I couldn't believe what I was seeing in the first half. Okay. Let me just tell you that. You know what? The great Dax McCarty, who was making his debut apparently as a commentator,
did pretty well. Thank you very much.
I forget, it was like halfway through the first half. He said something like, "It's hard to fathom what we're seeing here." I agree with him. It was like Barcelona tiki-taka football. The first half, destroying. There were like 3 guys that were on Red Bull 2 last year. And then we had new guys, Rebel Cava, Caden Cowell.
Who played like a man, man possessed. I mean,
Ruddy. I think he's the new right back, right?
Yeah, right back.
Oh my goodness! And what? Listen, Ethan Horvath, our new goalkeeper, he went like Luis Robles nuts. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna give Julian Hall, our player of the match. I think. As a matter of fact, Nicholas was saying that he was MLS Player of the Week. I don't know how correct that is, but if not him, it would have been Horvath, who just made several stunning saves. Okay, and then but Gary, another thing.
I was there, but go ahead.
Another thing that Dax McCarty said in the first half, he said something like once again midway through the half, he said that Rebels should really be winning by multiple goals right now. Okay,
they dominated the first half like Orlando City stole something from them. Okay, they were punished on the flanks. They were burned on the wings. I mean, we were seeing a different team. We were basically seeing something that we haven't seen in a while. This was Red Bull football, okay? In your face, not what you always had a disdain for. Run, press. Nothing like that. It was free flowing, fearless football. This was the type that this was the type of game that everyone was waiting for. Everyone was looking to see. Even you. Okay? Even you. I mean, to me, that the fact that you had a smile on your face told me a very surprised one, told me everything. That you was pleased as punch. If we're being a little picky, they coughed up a goal late. Okay, basically.
Right. But the ref gave like 5 minutes of extra time at the end of the second half.
Yes, they did.
They scored like a couple of seconds after that. So, I guess we're lucky we scored 2. But Gary, would you say that like our team should have had 5 or more goals?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
If we're gonna pick,
no doubt.
If we're gonna be picky at something,
no doubt, which pretty much bodes well for the offense, right? Okay, we're gonna talk about more about that. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about that in a second. But that does bode well, okay, for the offense, because we said going in, offensively they should be just fine. It's the defense that we're a little bit concerned with. Horvath tried to play a back pass to Nealis, and it was nearly a disaster. Okay, Nealis got picked off there. Hope he doesn't, he gets a stern talking to not to do that again. And there was some shaky moments when Orlando adjusted and then pressed, which realized my fears. I was like, they realized that we don't have a center back, and we're going to go route one all the way down the middle. I mean, I even asked this to Dan Feuerstein, who was with me in the press box. Is it for the simple fact that the Red Bulls were dominated, or was Orlando City that bad? Hold your thought on that, because I know you were writing notes about that.
Right, but
you go ahead.
Gary, I'm also going to say that the Orlando keeper was like insane. I have not seen such a how many
Maxime
shots?
Crepeau. I mean, Maxime Crepeau.
Yeah.
He was He came in as advertised. Okay, advertised. So if it wasn't for Hall, he was definitely the man in the match, because he kept Orlando City in it. Okay, with his his monstrous saves and whatnot, even denying a bang bang play, and such. You'll see that in about a second. But yeah,
Gary,
I mean, go ahead.
In the second half, Emil should have scored. Okay, but he hit the post. Yerry Mina's brother should have scored. Okay, but Crepeau was right there to stuff him, man. It was like a tale of massive saves, but there were several that our guys should have stuck in, okay, but they didn't, and it hit the post and went wide, stuff like that. Our team has to get more clinical, and I have faith that that's going to happen. Yeah. This is just the first game of the season, okay. Right. Listen, Mr. Bradley on a long term right now, please sign him up, 10-year contract, because from what we saw last season,
okay, let's tap the brakes. Let's tap the brakes. I mean, I'm not saying he's not deserved. I mean, right now he's looking like a genius, but I mean, you know what I always say, right? Everyone's happy during the feast. Let's see how they are during the famine. Speaking of which,
Bradley.
Let's take a look at the match recap, and then Miguel and I are going to talk about, there was a lot of history that took place in that match. See if you gave it a spot about before we do.
In the same 11, there are 7 players under the age of 23. Brian Ojeda kicks it off for an Orlando side that has just 1 player under 25. Experience versus youth.
He actually wins the ball. He gives Dylan Nealis a tiny little bump. It's just the execution that's not on.
Well, this could be on. George Rubalcaba, their new DP, slipping in behind. Ball in front. Hall misses. Cowell, big save. Maxime Crepeau.
Moving the ball quickly, pinning Orlando City back deep in their end.
This is dangerous. Forsberg sliding through. Emil Forsberg around the keeper. Centers. Go!
The ball out wide, making a great decision to find Emil Forsberg in between the lines. Takes a great touch.
This has been relentless from Red Bull. Mehmeti slipping it in. Rubalcaba dancing, shooting. Crepeau knocks it down. Hall sweeps it in, but he's offside. Nearly a rapid-fire brace for Julian Hall.
Making it really difficult to get pressure on the ball. Assistant referee gets that right. He's just a step offside. But Mehmeti, that's not surprising. Orlando.
Well, this is a sloppy ball forward. Matty Dos Santos runs onto it. Rubalcaba into the penalty area. Leaves it. Dos Santos, the cross. Hall bangs it across, and it's out off of Doncor. Yago cannot hook up with Gusky, and it's Red Bull on the move again. Rubalcaba charging down the left wing. Rubalcaba strike. Crepeau diving save. Rebound out to Cade Cowell. Moves past Ojeda. Smacks it off the crossbar. Well, maybe Rue, these missed chances, Dax.
It's almost hard to fathom what we're seeing right now, Evan. It is just complete domination. Rubalcaba testing Crepeau again, and it's poor defending to go along with his great goal tonight. If Orlando City wants a chance in this game, they're going to have to get Duncan McGuire some touches higher up the field.
Here's more touches for the Red Bull attack. Shot, Cowell, save. Crepeau diving to his left. Another corner. Crepeau again. Rebound comes out, knocked up by Mehmeti. Rubalcaba was lining up a volley there. Mehmeti, has he broken through here? Mehmeti across.
Just finding a good position in the middle of the box. It's so poor from Orlando City defensively.
Orlando looking for a lifeline. Ojeda drops it in. Ojeda, Brian Ojeda, and it's knocked through! It's Griffin Dorsey!
Ojeda, and Brian Ojeda does the right thing. He heads the ball down. I mean, that is a handball. Rubiel Vasquez with an eagle eye gets it spot on, and that is unbelievably unfortunate for Griffin Dorsey in Orlando City.
There is Cowell arriving at Marine.
Can't live with him.
Rubalcaba back to Cowell. Cowell clips it up, back post, Forsberg! Off the post! Miller gets it clear.
To pick out the free man. Just a delightful little clipped ball to the back post to one of your best players.
Ojeda launches Horvath! Diving save to keep it 2-0.
Back post, give your striker a chance.
Here comes New York. Doncor stabs it off. Shot! Crepeau save off the bar! First touch for Juan Mina.
From Ronald Doncor here. Forsberg finds Doncor. He sucks in the Orlando City back line. And Mina, he does everything right. He keeps it low. That is a
Dorsey there is the short option. Ojeda calls him off. Line drive into the box. Knocked down. Shot. Save Horvath. Are you kidding me?
Nice, sir. Look at the save again. Griffin Dorsey. He does so well to keep that on frame.
Justin Che.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're Red Bull. Keep possession. Work the ball side to side.
Valencia. Big save. Crepeau. Rebound. Save and stopped by Crepeau. What a performance!
Keep their flag down in the VAR era. Great defending from Miller.
Orlando running to the end. It's Taifi in behind. Squares it. Thiago! For his first MLS goal contribution.
And how many times have we talked about Orlando City being a little...
How much more is he going to give? Orlando has to go. And he blows it off. They will not have time. And it ends 2-1. Michael Bradley, victorious in his Red Bull New York coaching debut, a devastating first half.
All right, and as you can plainly see, first game, first win for Michael Bradley and company. Julian Hall, his 2 goals in the 8th and the 40th minute, and Thiago da Souza, of course, 6 minutes into stoppage time. Basically, there's a lot, of course, to unpack during the first game. Of course, Hall, okay, he was basically the match, definitely an MLS match player of the week. He scored his first and second goals of the season, his 4th and 5th of his MLS career. He also recorded his first MLS, multi-goal game. It's been a while. He is the 5th player in MLS history to score multiple goals in a single game at 17 years and younger. His 8th minute goal was the 3rd fastest by New York in the season opener, trailing only Dave Vandenberg. Remember him back in 2008 in the 1st minute, and Andrus Ivan in 2019 in the 6th minute. He also became the 31st different player in 31 seasons to score the first goal in franchise history. It seems that every time when there's another season, someone scores the first goal of the season. Ford also became the 4th player in franchise history to record a brace in the opening match, and the first since Carlos Rivas in 2018. Forsberg, he got his first assist of the 7th, his first assist of the season, his 17th of his career. He's got recorded an assist in back-to-back regular season matches. Cade Cowell, the man, can we say enough of he would, and I agree with you, Lisa, Cade was a menace. He caused problems all over that defense, okay? Recorded his first MLS this season, won't be his last in his Red Bull debut. He has now tallied 16 career assists. Adri Mehmeti, not a lot was talked about him, but Miguel, this dude was stringing passes straight butter. Okay,
Gary,
straight butter. Everyone in the in the press box, Miguel, was raving at this kid, how he was able to his vision. He was doing this with the New York Red Bull 2 team. The fact that he was able to step up, do this on the big stage, I'm impressed. How about you, man? I mean,
Gary, I was skeptical. I mean, I saw several.
I know you were.
Those
I know
Red
you
Bull
were.
2 games last season on their way to the
title,
to the big title. Okay, and I was like, my thinking was like, can these guys? And he was one of their best guys, and was
yes,
like, but can they translate it to MLS play? Well, there was my answer. Okay, this game was my answer. Yes, they can do it. These guys were impressive. Okay, especially Mehmeti. Okay,
straight butter. When's the last time we've had passes like that? Straight butter. I mean, we're not talking desperation, heave and ho. Patient, knew exactly where where his man was, and hit it. My goodness.
Right.
His passes alone was causing a lot of problems in that Orlando defense because they were able to set spots, Miguel, and guys just simply took the ball and dove right in the box with defenders trying to backtrack and everything else. And it all started, of course, with Mehmeti with those passes. My goodness. Okay.
Right.
He tallied his first MLS career assist, and he became the second youngest player in franchise history to tally an assist in 16 years. What were you doing at age 16? 16 years and 320 days old. In that particular match, Jorge Rubalcaba, Matthew Dos Santos, another guy, okay, another New York Red Bull 2 baller, doing well, doing things, okay? Matthew Dos Santos, and of course you mentioned Ethan Horvath and Mehmeti, all made their career MLS appearances and their starts. Mehmeti, of course, became the second youngest player in franchise history to make an MLS start in 16 years, 321 days. Well, I mentioned that already. He's from Staten Island, becomes the fifth youngest player in franchise history to make his MLS debut. Dos Santos became the ninth youngest player in franchise history to make an MLS start in 17 years, 261 days old. Let me ask everybody, chiming in, what were you doing at age 16 and 17? Probably not this, right? Probably not balling out there. But these guys was able to step in the big stage. And of course, yes, it's only one game, but what a debut. This is the first time in MLS history that three players aged 17 years and younger, someone in the group, mentioned this and started for a single club in the same game. Hall, Mehmeti, and of course, Dos Santos. In case you were wondering, those three were instrumental, okay, of MLS, getting their MLS Next Pro Championship. Those guys were actually, were the Three Musketeers were basically doing that. Were doing those things. Okay. Also, Tanner Rossborough and defender Juan Mina made their MLS debuts as well. And that night, Rossborough became the 13th youngest player to match me at 17 years, 337 days old. My goodness, youth was served, okay, for that particular game. Red Bulls won their opening match of the season for the first time since 2022. Been a while. 2022 since the last time they won their first opening match of the season. And finally, head coach Michael Bradley won his first career MLS match in charge of the club, and he became the fourth head coach of franchise history to win their first match in charge of said club. So,
Gary,
are you in? I'll leave. You have the floor. Go ahead, man.
Well, I guess we have to talk about how this was a game of two halves. Okay, I don't know what happened the first half. What happened to Orlando? Okay, they were just thoroughly dominated, thoroughly spanked. Okay,
by kids.
Right. But the second half, Gary.
Yeah, okay,
They adjusted, and they were, for long stretches, they were the better team, And, we were lucky to not have conceded a goal like early or even midway through the second half, because that could have changed everything. We were lucky that Ethan Horvath made the saves that he made.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until after the allotted extra time that they scored a goal, and then they basically ran out of time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You didn't lose the game; you just ran out of time.
Right.
A famous football coach would say that.
Yeah. So I don't know how Mr. Bradley is what is he gonna say to the team? What happened from one half to the other? Okay. And I think if we're gonna play a half of insane football, they gotta take their chances. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which they should have. We should have. I'm not making it up, Gary. We should have had like 5 at least in the first half.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I mean,
right.
But it's very difficult to get everything perfect on the first game, right? Mm-hmm. So the simple fact that they were able to score 2 goals with relative ease, okay,
right?
Getting into the teeth of that defense, and I'm sure Orlando City had to be looking in the mirror, going, "Wait a minute, where the pros here? Where are these kids bouncing around?" And Crapo was doing his ever-loving best to try to make it a 2-goal game. I mean, because if it wasn't for him, let's not forget, Maxime Crapo, who came in as advertised. I mean, right. he's a keeper you have a hard time beating. Okay, he's that good. As
a matter of fact, I don't know if you remember, but when during the off season, he was out of contract or something, right? He was,
for a while.
Yeah, and it was like, why don't we get that guy?
I don't know. I do not know. I mean, at least to me, it seems that keepers like that seem to slip through cracks and slip through the fingers and such. But thank goodness we got Effin Horvath was available. And they were able, there was a lot of people who were saying, who you don't know Ethan Horvath? The guy that basically saved in the men's national team's bacon during the final versus Mexico. I mean, he put on a performance that was unforgettable.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And also, let me just say that Rebel Cava and Caden Cowell, I mean,
they're a pain. They were a pain, okay? And
oh my God.
Cowell wanted to score 3 before he walked off the pitch.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, that baller said, give me the rock. I'm going in. Try and stop me. I mean, we haven't seen, okay, that type of offensive gusto in a long time. What was it? They had the ball and they were clueless in the final third. No. Rubalcaba, Cowell, they know exactly what to do with the rock. Gimme, I'm going in. They have no fear. I mean, Red Bull fans should be salivating, when these guys have the ball, okay? And if you got Mehmeti making those passes or anyone else doing that, and if you got Emil Forsberg, for once, he doesn't have to do all the work. He can just simply pick his spots and pick his poison. That's precisely what he did with Hall in the first goal. He got around the play. Yeah, he got around the defense. Yeah, got around the defense and said, "Oh, here you go, kid." And what I want to know, if I'm an Orlando City fan, I want to know, what was you guys doing and why didn't you pick up this kid standing there?
He was in front of the net,
wide open. Who blew that assignment? He a kid. You let this kid just ace you like that. Then Mehmeti again. Mehmeti and Hall, once again. I keep telling you, those passes. He has a tendency to find a small little channel, find his man, pop him in there. Got Hall for the second goal. Impressive. I don't think I need to ask who you think will receive the game ball for this match, but go right ahead, man.
It's got to be Hall for the 2 goals. Okay. Honorable mention, I give it to the goalkeeper, Ethan Horvath. That's it.
Okay. Of course, naturally, we all, we would be remiss, of course, if we didn't add, of course, this graphic here. Match day 1, full honors, and and deservedly so. Player of the match day. He had 2 goals. There were a lot of players that were head and shoulders above but he was one of 2 players the Red Bulls were chosen for match day 1. I was very impressed. I put his name on the ballot because I believe he deserved. He was my, man in the match. Horvath and of course Crépeau. Crépeau got an honorable mention because he kept his team in it. Because if it wasn't for him there, the defense for Orlando City was kind of near shambolic. They didn't know what to do with these kids. Okay, they were running around, over, and through the Orlando City defense. When I say the fans at the stadium, Miguel, were beefing. They were beefing. They were like, "What is this?"
Really?
Yeah, what is this? We're not expecting people running over you like this. What is this? They got excited in the second half, like you said. In the second half, when they made that adjustment.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, okay? Did any what you saw realize your fears?
Well, yeah, I gotta say yes, Gary, because you know what? For all the dominance in the first half, okay, to come out of that first half just 2 goals up when we should have had 5, 6, 7. I'm not exaggerating, man. Okay. If Orlando would have gotten a goal, as a matter of fact, they got a goal in the second half, which was ruled. No, but they
the
scored,
one before it, right before that.
But they took it back, okay. But
handball.
But if they had scored a goal like early or midway through the second half, they're you know how that goes, Gary. Okay, everybody gets scared. Telling you, we're lucky that they scored at the very end. This is why, you know what? Like, put the boot on their necks, man. Okay, and that
time, time will come. I mean, I think, I think one of our members, one of our members brought it up. Sorry, I didn't get the name. It's right at the top of my tip of my tongue. He brought up that maybe we should bring in someone in the back, Serge. Hang on for 1 second. Let me just bring this up. My apologies, folks. Let me just bring this up because it's very important that it was a very important point that he brought up, and the winner is. Hang on for 1 second. Man, I wish here we go. He was saying that we should bring in some veterans, okay, to anchor that defense. One name that he brought up, of course, was it takes a long time to get to. Oh, never mind. Do you feel we're running out of shelf? Do you feel at this point that do they need any veteran signings at this point?
I wouldn't mind a veteran center back. Not just the body though, okay? Veteran center back.
Not just the body?
To take the place of Nealis, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. I would want, I would look to get a starter type from wherever, maybe somebody out of contract, maybe somebody from who's played in another league who's out of contract. Because I think the transfer window is still open until
a couple of months.
You're right.
A couple of months.
But that I think I'd be good with Nealis being like the third center back. Okay, out of 3.
Peter Pazensky is our most esteemed, is our erstwhile member, and he suggested Sergio Ramos signing him.
No. He's playing in Mexico right now.
Yes, he is.
If I'm not mistaken, and he's like 40 years old or something.
Monterrey, at the Monterrey at the moment. I mean, he can, he could walk away from that. But in your opinion, I mean, do you agree with Peter in that signing him, that not only they'll stabilize the back, but also put a few extra fans in the seats? Honestly, I think that we're way past that point. But bringing in Sergio Ramos, not bad, man. Not bad. I mean, that's a good get. But you said because of his age. Why do you think his age would be different?
Old now. I think he's kind of old now. A lot of these guys in MLS, very fast. I don't know that he'd be able to keep up. I'd look to get somebody, maybe even on loan from a club somewhere. Okay. Who is a veteran, okay? Mm-hmm. And but I wouldn't want somebody as a body, Gary. We're talking about bodies. Last year we had that guy Hack, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And he was terrible. Okay. So I wouldn't want somebody like that. But yeah, if we can get somebody within MLS or somebody even on loan from another club somewhere else. I wouldn't mind that veteran presence in the center back.
I mean, I will agree with Matthew Scarloff. He said you need a little mix of veterans. Okay.
Right.
John Amaro agrees with you. Need a center back? Sergio Ramos, not that guy. I mean, Lisa Fortino also agrees with you. We had veterans. We didn't make the playoffs. Okay. So everyone's into the youth, everyone's fully into this youth build. You're into it. You want the head coach signed for a long term. I think we're a long ways away from getting there, but let's, as they say, let's put a cap over this first half by saying the following. We like what we see. Okay. Next game is our home opener, 2:30 p.m. at Sports Illustrated Stadium. We're going to talk about the story that is the New England Revolution and why they started off on the wrong foot in the wrong neighborhood in one of Miguel's most favorite cities, Nashville. We're going to see you back here in about 30 seconds. This is episode 166 of New York Red Bull Discussion Group, the podcast. See you in 30. Okay, while Miguel has stepped away for a little bit, let's talk about New England Revolution. The last time we faced those guys in week 1 of the Major League Soccer season, they took on Nashville SC, and from what I understand, they got ran out the building. Final score 4-1 to the to the Music City, the Music City Ballers. It was as ugly as you would think it was, Miguel. I mean, when I said they got, this was also one of my concerns about all the other teams in the Eastern Conference getting better while Red Bull stood still all that time. Daniel Sturridge, he's a man, running wild, possessed, and he just went, around and through this poor team. They have the same issue. Sam Sturridge scored twice. Hani Mukhtar got a goal. Warren Madrigal got another goal. And when it was all said and done, it was 4-1. Leonardo Campana, he was the guy I was hoping that the Red Bulls get, but now he's doing okay. But he was assisted by Carlos Gill. That was the one and only goal that New England Revolution was able to score, and now they're coming to Sports Illustrated Stadium. Here's the thing, they got a new coach, Marko Mitrovic. He's a Serbian coach, age 47. They got back Matt Turner. Would you believe that? Matt Turner left, went to the Premier League, didn't do too well there, went to another European league, didn't too well there, but he did pretty well with the Stars and Stripes, and now he's back with New England. I'm scratching my head. I mean, would you consider that a failure, or is the fact that his skill set was simply not well enough for, a league that elite?
Well, as a matter of fact, speaking of Matt Turner, he was briefly with Arsenal. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the last time I went over there was in 2023, and then after the game was over, the Arsenal America people were sent downstairs, and Matt Turner came over to take pictures and talk with us. But after he didn't last, he went to like Crystal Palace,
right?
And then he was with oh god, what is that? That other club that's fighting relegation now. I forget, but their owner is a big Greek guy. And then Nottingham Forest, he was with.
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'm about to say.
Okay? And he was like the starter, but then he got knocked out, and then he was on the bench. So I would imagine if you want to play, if you don't want to go over there and just sit on a bench, he must have had a contract for several years, and then he made his money. Now he's back. Okay. He was pretty good.
The Revolution is glad to have him back. I mean, they're like, oh, okay, we got our guy back. And so what I remember about him, he was a tough nut to crack. Okay.
Right, he was pretty good.
And he still is. Okay. The defense in front of him, not so much. I mean,
right. And I'm going to touch on some points that are because Nick has a little breakdown of New England. Okay, it's they're basically going through a retool of their franchise, as we are.
That's right.
Exactly.
Any team that didn't make the playoffs last season got rebuilt. Right. So there you go.
And as you said, they got back Matt Turner. They have Leo Campana. They also have Carlos Gill. Okay, so I would imagine that's their top three guys. They brought in Brooklyn Reigns in a trade with Houston. Griffith Yao, they brought in as well, and Dove Turgeman. They paid like $5.5 million for that guy. Okay, but their biggest problem is the defense. Okay, Andrew Farrell is still there, and I think Andrew Farrell,
he's a lifer. He's a legend. He's a lifer.
He's had his moment, he's not that good now.
Hey, let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something. When he finally hangs them up, they're going to build a statue of that guy.
All right.
Okay.
Listen.
He was the Revolution on the only club they know and he knows. Okay. Right. They're gonna heist them up just like they did BWP.
Okay.
He's going to be in the organization. Okay. Either as a coach with the 2 team or what have you, but they love that man, and that that man believes Revolution Blue. So they love that man. But as a baller, but you're right. But as a defense, no, he's 2 steps slow.
Yeah. So that's the problem with the Revolution. The defense in front of Turner is not that good. Okay, they've missed the playoffs the last 2 years. Okay, the only positive thing they got going is that they've been approved to build a soccer-specific stadium.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's within Boston boundaries?
Revere.
Limits? Okay.
Yeah, Revere.
Yeah.
Oops, lost your leg.
I lost my leg. Yeah.
Lost your leg. But it's in Revere. Which is not for I believe it's not far away from South Boston. I think I have to look it up, but Miami getting in new ground, I think this year, NYCFC getting in new ground next year, and I think next year, and I think summertime next year, scheduled to go online then, and then of course you got New England, okay. I'm not sure. I don't think it's 2027. I think it's more 2028 or 29. Either way,
that's gotta be like 4 years, man.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, it's a done deal. shovels in the ground imminent. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we heard this story about New England, about new stadium and everything, Kraft really didn't want them to go anywhere because without the revolution, it's an empty stadium except for maybe concerts and
Yeah.
tractor shows and stuff like that.
I haven't been there. I haven't been there like more than 20 years,
Yeah, I mean,
and that stadium was
it's
horrible.
I mean, and it's still a tough place to get to. I mean,
yeah.
I've been there like 3 times. I said I'm not doing it this year. Anthony was like, "You gonna do New England?" Like, no, not again. I mean, I have to go to Providence and then go to and then go to Foxborough. It's not a bad trip, but anytime I got to take Uber just to get to the site, it's rough. Okay, so the fact that they're going to be doing it in Boston, can't wait.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I love Boston, man. It's a freaking great city. So, might make it a weekend if anything,
Yeah, but I'm happy. I'm happy for the Revolution. I'm so happy for their fans because they were the last of the Mohicans. They are an original 96 club, franchise. Okay. They were one of the original 10, as you know. Okay. So for them to be the last to get a soccer specific stadium and finally get it after so many, if, ands, hopes, and promises. Remember, we were in that boat not too long ago during the Metro Stars year. There was a lot of hemming and hawing and everything. And then finally Rebels said, it's enough. We're going to build it over in Harrison. Some people thought we should be building in Jersey City or New York City, but what have you. We got a spot, we got a place, so we're happy with that. Fans are going to be ecstatic, and I'm happy, and I'm really happy for that. They're also going to build up the entire area around it, so it's not just the stadium and not much else, parking and not much else. There's going to be some development around the place, just like they have with with NYCFC. And when it's all said and done, just about all of Major League Soccer teams have a facility that place they call home. If that's not growth, I don't know what is. Okay, so we can.
Yeah, but you know what? I would put quotes on that statement right there, Gary, because there's several, teams that play in NFL stadiums.
Yeah,
with the AstroTurf.
Yeah. I mean, I get you. I mean, like I said, if you and I were the commissioner, I would just simply make it a mandate. Every team has to play on grass. Sorry. Right. I don't care, I don't care if you got to put it over the turf, make it happen. Every team has to play on grass. 2, if you can't do a soccer specific stadium, find a way. Find a way. You have to have your own place. Now, it works for Seattle because the owner is also the same owner as the Sounders, Seahawks. So, but I think their owner is selling the Seahawks, so he's getting out of that game. Works for Portland because of, well, what do you think? I mean, it's a converted baseball stadium into a soccer stadium. It's also one of the most intimidating places to play, and I definitely got to catch a game there, to follow the Red Bulls there next time. I had a chance to do it last year. Work caught up with me, couldn't go to Portland. And, of course, naturally, New England, where it was more of a convenience more than anything else. Now they're gonna go into their new stadium. Everyone's complaining about Yankees, Yankee Stadium and their ridiculous sight lines and everything else. Well, that's going to change after next year. What's also going to change, unfortunately, they're going to be looked upon as a big club. And this is what my local concern with the Red Bulls. They need to step up their game. Now, of course, they're going to have a brand spanking, training center, which is, from what I understand from the renderings, it's going to be state of the art. It's going to look sick. And it's also going to be, for the academy, also in Jersey. But the problem here is it's in Jersey. So there's going to be that ridiculous narrative that there should be the new Red Bull. I don't want to spark a war here. Red Bull, New Jersey, but what are you going to do? Okay, so that's a heck of a flex. They're going to leave their current training center, and they're going to move into a much larger and much better training facility, pretty much in the same neighborhood, and probably give that to Gotham because they need a place of their own. But Major League Soccer is growing leaps and bounds. They're working on their, working on their foundation, working on their infrastructure as far as stadium and training centers. You should see the training centers in other teams. And I know you've seen them, Miguel. My goodness. I mean, when you're bringing in a high-priced baller, when you're bringing in somebody with big name, you know the first thing they're going to look at? How's your training center? And if your training center, and if your training center is looking like, oh, I don't know, like someplace out of high school or
Garry,
rented in college. I mean, you and I saw, back in the day, right? You and I back in the day, when Major League Soccer was in the infancy, dudes were changing in their cars. We came a long way from that.
Garry, I've been to several events at the various Red Bull training facilities that they used to use.
I forgot about Chicago. Thank you, Matthew, Lisa. Yeah, Chicago too.
The Red Bulls used to train at Kane College.
Yeah.
Okay. And as a matter of fact, I remember going to a U.S. Open Cup game at Kane College. The Red Bulls, and I forget what other lower division team. And then, at some point they wound up at Montclair, but they would have to train in local parks and get permits, permits from towns, man. They train in Kearney. Okay.
And they tried to use the training thing over where Giant Stadium, the one across from the parking lot. Giants said no.
They would use the Superdome, which is up in one of these towns by me north, which is like a dome-like structure, and they would use that. But it was like a mishmash of places where they would train, and that to have their own training facility for several years now, is a godsend. And now that they're making an even better training, a bigger and better one, it's crucial for them to entice players to come over. Okay,
I've seen Andrew Visano, the director of communications, sent me the renderings of the new training center. I was like, wow, oh man, look how far we've come.
Right. The only thing I would say, Garry, you know what? I did read that list of clubs, the most valuable clubs in MLS. There's a few that are valued at $1 billion or more. Okay, like Miami.
I can see Miami.
NYCFC, because they're coming with their own stadium. Okay. Now the thing about the Red Bulls, right? I don't think they own Red Bull Arena anymore, so they don't have that to fall back on. Yeah.
No, that went to that
Hudson County. It's
Hudson
owned
County.
by Hudson County. Yeah.
Now they do have a clause in their contract. A lot of people seem to forget, and there's a couple of guys in the group that reminded me of. They can take back the stadium at any time.
They just got to pay the tax.
That's correct. They just have to do that. They just have to do that. I mean, if it wasn't for that little kerfuffle, okay, and I hate to say it, Red Bull got caught with their pants down, literally with that. They should have squared that away when they had the chance. They didn't. And so that's why there's a little bit of acrimony between Red Bull and the town of Harrison, which is a bit of a shame because Harrison and Kearney has such a rich soccer history. And I was hoping that they would somewhat tie that in. I think one of the stickler points is the fact that it is still called Red Bull New York rather than just either Red Bull New Jersey or the Metro Stars, one of the two. They felt that, some people feel slighted because it's more of a New York club, more of a New Jersey one, but although you've never played a single game in New York. Okay, so they say, why don't you just, respect where your borders are where you are in New Jersey? A person asked me and said, okay, would you have a problem with your team being called Red Bull New Jersey? No.
They don't even have to do that, Garry.
No.
As a matter of fact, let me propose this.
Okay, go ahead.
Red Bull sell, okay? Mm-hmm. Somebody come in and just call it Metro or Metro Stars or whatever. You don't even have to put the state, okay?
That's it. I mean, you better find someone with or a group, not just someone, or either a group or someone with extremely deep pockets
The time is now. The time is now because the time is now because the New York Red Bulls are not one of the most valuable franchises in MLS. Thank you.
I think fans will prefer to have a new Metro Stars. I don't particularly like the name so much. I would rather have simply go Metro FC.
Exactly.
Metro FC. No New York, no New Jersey, just Metro FC and call it
Metro FC.
That's it.
Because you know what, Gary? This is the metropolitan area.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you. We're more, I mean, this is what I tell people all the time. We're not a local franchise. We're more of a regional franchise, just like the New England Revolution, which we are going to face. They represent 6 states. We happen, New England is technically 6 states. Where us, we are not just New York or New Jersey. We're also in some parts in Connecticut and the Delaware County as well.
Right.
So
New England sometimes plays like some of their cup games, like in Connecticut or something.
I mean, I know a lot of people. I know. I have a lot of friends in the Red Bull Out committee. They want Red Bull gone, but they will die off before Red Bull sells the team. I hate to say this. I mean, I don't mean to be insulting, but it is what it is. Okay. They're not, when you put it this way, I'm using the new training center as an example. If you were selling the team, why in the world would you buy another training center?
Because
and an academy
provides value. Because it provides value.
I mean, and not just a training center. They're also constructing a resident academy.
It's ready made for a new owner. It's what's the term? Turnkey. There you go.
Turnkey. Okay. I mean, if they're going to do that,
turnkey franchise, man.
I mean, if they're going to do that, you better get the right owner. Okay, you're yelling and screaming left and right about this one. Okay, we spent we spent the first decade, with the Metro Stars, with guys who meant well but didn't know what the hell they were doing. Everybody likes to throw this at me. When they say, you're trying to include Subotnick and all those guys, they knew what they were doing. Or they were bringing in big name after big name and big name, and the team went nowhere.
They would bring in big names, like, for instance, I'll throw one out at you, Roberto Donadoni.
Yeah, the first DP.
Midfielder. He wasn't what we needed.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, guys that meant well. Right. Impressed people that didn't know the thing about soccer, but they didn't know a thing about soccer. Yeah, I used to get upset about this. Okay, we're in the New York metropolitan area. I understand you're gonna bring names, but if you're gonna just bring big names and that's it, and wrap your team around ham and eggs and kids, you're not gonna go very well. There was really no direction. That's why they didn't win jack. They won games, but not much else. I mean, and I bring this point to people. We didn't start winning titles until Red Bull came along. Okay.
Titles?
I mean, fine.
You're talking about
dinnerware? Okay. If you want to talk about dinnerware, fine. It's a trophy.
Dinnerware?
Okay, hold on. No. Okay. It's a big plate. It's a dinner plate.
No. I'm gonna strongly disagree with you, Gary.
Hey, we won something.
No. That whole thing started because there were fan groups who just couldn't take that the winner of the regular season didn't get something. Okay. Because they wanted this league to be just like all the other leagues in the world.
Okay.
The top one, is
something that said something that says something that says you won the league. Here you go. Okay.
So that you're first place in the regular.
But that's how I see it, Miguel. Okay. No.
That doesn't mean we won the league. That means we came in first place in the regular.
That's all I see.
I never said
it was a championship.
Listen.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Let's get that straight. I never said
years ago.
I'm loving this debate with you and I having about this.
Late 90s. the supporters groups came up with that. Let's the supporters give something to the team that won the regular season. And guess what? A few years later, MLS appropriated that.
Of course.
Okay.
Which was I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all.
Hence, we have the Supporter Shield. That's not a real championship. I hate to say it. Okay, and it usually doesn't amount to anything.
Well, it buys
Supporter Shields.
It buys you a ticket to the Champions League.
No. Forget about that.
Okay.
Right now, if you're one of the two teams standing at the end and you've won the Supporter Shield, you host MLS Cup. That's the biggest thing. Okay, that's it. I'll take that. Okay, but it wasn't like that for a long time.
No,
MLS Cup, as you know, was
I know the history. I understand.
Neutral venue,
Right. I understand that. I understand that. I know the history, and one thing I never said was it was a championship. It's not.
Right.
All it does. I mean, my position is all you did was finish first in the regular season. But you're still vulnerable in the playoffs because how many times we've seen it? The team that won the Supporters Shield got knocked out by the eventual champion. It happened to us three times. Every time we won that shield, we got bounced. Okay, in the playoffs.
In the past, all teams were playing like home and away.
Yeah,
stuff like that. But now, you win the Supporter Shield, you have a bye for that knockout round.
That's all you get.
But then you get to host every freaking game. It was like it's like one, So that's right now. There's an actual advantage to that, but most teams don't take advantage. Most teams get knocked out, and that's it. You're done. And we haven't won a championship. I hate to break it to everybody who thinks we have, but we have not. Okay.
I don't see a star over our crest. Do you?
Right.
I mean,
no. I see it. RBNY too has.
I mean, technically they have one. They have a star over their crest. Technically they have two. Okay, but there was another league. They can't carry over the USL star over their crest. The USL folks will have a cow.
Right.
But they
and the
did.
PDL, the PDL team that they used to field has a star as well.
Oh, it's a star over the crest. I mean, that's all I'm in the same, boat as you. Okay. As far as Supporter Shields, you got a Conference Cup. Yay. Okay. That means we lost an MLS Cup final. Okay. Right. That's basically all it means. We're all waiting patiently for the day, hopefully when we're still alive to see it, when we finally catch that damn cup. I'll probably die very happy, man. I mean, I'll look at it this way. I didn't think I would ever see the Rangers win the Stanley Cup. They did. Okay, so I was alive to see that. Hopefully I'm alive to see, the Red Bulls win, of course, that, chalice that they've been chasing for 31 years. I believe 1 year, they'll get this right. They'll get it right, and our wait will finally come to an end. And as we end that note, predictions, my man. What's going to happen on Saturday afternoon? Red Bull versus New England.
Well, you know what? I'm going to predict it's our home opener. New England isn't. It's not a good franchise on paper, and you can on the field they got smacked 4-1, right?
They're right off the gym.
You know what?
I mean,
I'm going to predict victory, Gary.
Okay.
For us.
I'm gonna call it a victory, but it's gonna be tight. Okay. One of the reasons why I love the way they move the ball offensively, and that's gonna cause problems for New England because their defense is not quite there yet. Their only saving grace, of course, is Turner, who can stop shots. Okay. He's no scrub. Okay. The man behind those pipes are going to give Kay Cowell and all those guys fits, but they're going to bang some goals in. Don't forget, Chupo is chomping at the bit to get in and get his stats up. Okay, because he was sitting,
Right.
he was sitting on the bench when all this fun stuff and he's seeing all these kids running wild, and he's wondering, okay, how come I'm not in there causing problems? Yo, didn't you guys forget that I scored 13 goals last season? I mean, that's what people were shaking their heads like, wait a minute, where's Chupo?
He's getting a bit older now, Gary. So this might be like the perfect situation for him.
Passing the torch.
Well, he could come in as a super sub late. He could start the next game, stuff like that. We don't want to wear him out, Gary.
No,
okay?
no, we don't want to wear him. No, we don't. Definitely don't want. Definitely don't want to wear him out.
Yeah,
we definitely don't want to do that, because that would be, that would be a problem with me. So that's it. I'm gonna call it a neat and nifty 2-0 win. You got you
I don't know if I can predict. You know what? Hopefully they'll be more clinical. I don't think Matt Turner is going to be as good as Crepeau. All right. So you know what? I'm going to predict 3-1.
All right, 3-1. All right,
Okay.
and with that, we want to thank every single one of our members for joining us on our live show. And don't forget, if you missed it, hey, don't forget this particular episode will be uploaded on our YouTube channel and, of course, Spotify.com on Wednesday morning at midnight. So I'll send you guys the links for that, and you can able to watch it at your pleasure, your viewing and listening pleasure. Episode 166 is done and dusted. Next week, Lon Ray Badmus and, of course, the coach, Mark Coates, will, of course, review the New England Revolution match and get you guys ready for Montreal CF. Man, they have talk about it having a bad way. Ooh, boy.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, Gary, hopefully next show, Mark, the coach, will be celebrating a big Arsenal victory over Chelsea, which is the club that Lon Ray supports. But we'll see. Okay, thank you.
You two. I mean, you guys drive me nuts. I mean, I can't wait to see the Premier League is over. Okay, don't forget, if you have any questions about the show, about our guests, about any topics that we discussed, NYRBDG, the podcast at gmail.com is the email address where you can reach us. As you know, we always read your emails long after we sign off. And if there's anything interesting, we'll read it on the show the very next week, as we like to talk the topic of conversation. So that's it for now, boys and girls. For Miguel Nunez and myself, Gary Redmond, thank you guys so much for joining us. We shall see you guys next week. Until then, goodbye and good night for now.